Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Let's look at the market, check out the SPY. I guess Trump tweeted something. Well, it was just about drug prices, though. Let's see, that's not it. That's not it. What in the heck? All right. It was just about drug prices, but it knocked the market down. Then there was also something about they were trying to pass a bill. The Democrats were trying to pass a bill to ban stock trading. I'm not sharing the screen, am I? Of course. I'm having a really bad day still, so it's not going to surprise. Nothing's going to surprise me. Nothing at all is going to surprise me. Where in the hell is it? The light's on, so I know it should be there. Huh. It's just, I mean, it's just one of those days where nothing is working out. I was going to come back. I was going to do a trade, but I'm not going to do a trade. The last 5 trades I've done have been losers, and I'm just not going to do it. I don't feel like it. Everything I touch goes bad. So how in the hell is that happening? There it is. All right. Anyway, no one's here anyway, so it's fine. Or there's one of you guys here. Thank you. All right. Anyway, I'll share the screen now. Hey, Marcus, how are you doing? All right. Well, yeah, I'm mad about my SPY calls and I'm mad about my GME. I feel bad. I mean, if you guys want to see something for earnings, I mean, if I do it, it's just going to lose. You guys feel free to do it. I mean, that one on Facebook yesterday worked out great, right? You guys feel free to do it. I'm not trying to deprive you guys of trading, but I'm just having a bad day. I mean, nothing is going right. It's even got worse since this morning. All right. So anyway, let's refresh. It's just about everything. I think it's Coinbase, MicroStrategies, but like I say, since I'm not doing it, maybe it'll be a good one. Let's look at Amazon. Can't believe I didn't do that freaking trade yesterday. That would have solved every problem I have right now. All right, there's that. I can't believe I don't even have this thing turned back on yet. We can't even see the darn, I'm sorry. Can't even see the darn stuff on this thing. All right, there you have it right there. Like I say, it's probably a winner just for the pure fact that I didn't do it. All right, I can also do one on Apple real quick. Here's this link in case anyone wants to put it into their brokerage account. I was going to have a meeting today with the guy from Twin Oak, and hey Dan, how are you doing? The guy from Twin Oak, and but he doesn't want to. He wants to talk unrecorded because, and it's not. It's just because of his legal department won't let him talk live on YouTube. So anyway, we're going to talk, and I'm going to take notes, and then, but he might be on. He'll probably be on in the future. He wants to talk first. So anyway, who knows? What jumped from 33 to 100 basically immediately? Oh, you caught some FIG allocations, only 3 shares, but 3x is 3x. Something jumped from 33 to 100. Wow. All right. Anyway, there's that. Is there, let's see, let's do Apple, I guess. Like I say, I hope these help you guys out. I mean, these are normally the ones I would be interested in doing, but I mean, these are normally the ones I'd be all over. I don't like this one as much. I can just tell by looking at it. Scratch that one. There's not enough buffer. Its Apple's not volatile enough. Let's look at Coinbase. All right. Let's see. Coinbase. We'll do it like this. So all right. %. That's not bad. Almost a 5% buffer. The math on this one's all right, and you own this 420. That's kind of out of the mind. Let's scoot that in a little bit. Okay, so you have 300 on $2,700 risk. So it's 10%, and that's more typical. Okay, so there you have it. We'll save this trade. It is an income trade. It's like a put spread with a bonus. Let's see, bullish earnings. Oh, they had an IPO today. Okay. All right, cool. That's incredible. That is incredible. Do they own? Have I been reading about that? Do they own Canva or what is? Or there's some kind of social media type asset situation, maybe. Anyway, I can look it up myself. It's not that big of a deal. I guess I'll just look it up here. It's probably Jackson. Jackson, knock it off. Jax, come here. Jax, come here, buddy. Stay with me. Technology software applications. Yeah, I think I heard about this one. Stuff like Canva. That's why else I'm pissed and having a bad day. I've been laid off by AI. I used to basically support this station because I do other work, computer work, but it's my it only had one client, but he switched to he figured out how to do all this kind of stuff in AI. So that was really what was keeping the station alive. Because even when the station was making 400, that was only for 2 months. And, but the other thing was, but I have no idea what I'm going to do now. I've been laid off by AI. But the good news is it's my 8-year sober anniversary tomorrow. So it was 8 years ago that I came down to Texas. I've been here ever since. Came to rehab, and I didn't just move to Texas. So that's the good news. But like I say, I have no idea how I'm going to support the station. And it's certainly not going to be off the trades, because if I would have just made a trade, I could have. But I don't believe in living off my trading account either. But I would have probably had to. But now I don't even have that choice. Anyway, I just can't buy a winner. Yeah, it's Adobe competitor. Okay, I figured as much. Jackson, just don't bark, please, buddy. Okay. Don't bark. I think we have a guest at the front door, but that's fine. Jackson, you just behave. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, because I thought I saw something about that. But yeah, that's Adobe Spark and Canva is put me out of business. I used to, because I was actually trained in Photoshop and actually do graphic design, and I'm actually good at Adobe Illustrator. The best thing I did was I designed a logo, and I designed a logo for a restaurant, and they put it on top of a 20-foot pole sign, and it's so awesome to see that. The restaurant's since out of business, but I do stuff like that, and I've been doing it for years, and it helps pay the bills, but that's now gone. So like I said, my client is He's learned how to do AI. You don't have to have a graphic designer anymore. All right. So what else is going on? Let's look over here. So those are 2 trades for you guys. I hope. Oh shoot, I forgot to share that one trade. No, I guess it's there. I guess it's one there. Yeah, you're a professional. So I'm an amateur. After college, I was a stockbroker for until like 2000. And then I went back to school and I got a certificate in Adobe Photoshop. It was Adobe Photoshop 3. And then I taught myself Illustrator on my own. But to call myself a graphic designer, I wouldn't call myself a graphic designer. Certainly not a graphic artist. So that's why I always hesitate. But I've been able to help people with that kind of stuff. Doing mainly social media stuff, little short videos and logos and just basic stuff. Anyway, but that basic stuff has paid the bills for 20 years, and it's been gone for about 2 months now. And but I'm sure you're a real designer. I know just enough to be dangerous. I'll admit that I have Dunning-Kruger in that field, but still that was good enough until Canva came out. Anyway, all right. So let's look at some other stuff. Anyway, there's a couple of trades for you guys. I hope they win. Let's check out the Altiverse, the Bloxyverse, that kind of stuff. Jackson, you behave, please, buddy. All right, so here we have the Altiverse. And you direct your attention over here to the right. It looks like Alti itself. I don't have Alti itself. I don't know why I didn't. I thought I did. It's just one of those days. I know I had it. I know I freaking had it. Well, anyway, you can look at the average stock in Alti, which is what this shows. I had both of them. It said average, and then it said Alti. Anyway, the average stock is down 12 basis points. What Alti's doing, the good Lord only knows. I can't believe that. I swear to God, I spent like an hour fixing this spreadsheet. Anyway, well, let's see if the Bloxyverse. I know I did it on the Bloxyverse because that's all we really care about. We want to see what the parent is up, as well as, hey, there it is. So Alti was the same way too. It just, there's no telling. It's just one of those days. All right. So, but here we have it. The average stock is down 61 basis points, and also Blocks itself is down a little bit also. They paid a dividend today. I'm trying to make a video right now, but the way my day's going, I mean, who knows if this will get done, but it's called YS Blocks Curb Stomping LFGY. And look right here, there's blocks against LFGY, and look at blocks against Alti. It's curb stomping Alti too. Of course, it's a small sample size, a very small sample size. Blocks has only been out a little bit more than a month, about a month and a half. So, be that as it may, maybe I'll get that video out, maybe I won't. We'll see. All right, so let's look over here. The only thing that does work, and this will probably stop working tomorrow, but or maybe I can figure out a way to keep it working past tomorrow. Maybe copy it over to Excel where I'm not dependent on the Google infrastructure, but I still need Google. I don't know where I would pull, stock quotes from Excel. Anyway, that's my own problem. Now I forgot what I was going to do. This one. I am happy with the way this is working right now. If everything else could work like this is really helpful and really working well. So we're going to look at the top 20 list. We even have a chart of it here. Let's see. Let's get a new. Let's make sure this is up to date. Let's pull a new list. SMCY's moving up the charts to number 4. Running script. There it is. SMCY dropped to number 6. Look at COIW past SMCY. I mean, all of these are good. Look, I mean, anything in the top 5. MSFY yielding 50%, NAV return 22. NVDW yielding 37%, NAV return 55. NVDY, I mean, Jiminy Criminy 75% with the 20% NAV return. AMD, the same thing, same yield, but a little bit more return. COIW is killing it. absolutely killing it, yielding, nearly 50%, but have a 72% NAV return. It was down to like 60 something last week, so it's obviously probably had a good day or whatever. And of course, Coinbase has earnings after the bell, so that will also that will help determine what happens tomorrow. SMCY, looking real solid. I mean, if all you cared about was yield, I mean, SMCY, would be good, but also this is past performance. I mean, so it doesn't say what's going to happen in the future, but man, if you were trying to chase yield, SMCY is the vehicle right now. I mean, Alti's not even on this lately, but let's look here. Let's look at Alti versus SMCY. January. Let's go for the quarter. April, May, and June. Yeah. Okay. Man, so that SMCY has just been doing well recently, but not so. Is this screwed up too? Why is SMCY ahead of? Oh, it goes back to 2024. My bad. That's why it's ahead. Hang on. We'll do it from 2025 and it won't be ahead. All right. All right. Yeah. SMCY is killing it. I mean, to be fair, Alti looks less volatile. Alti's looks way more steady. But man, that SMCY is killing it. And it has a higher yield. That's not supposed to happen, and it won't continue to happen forever, but it's happening right now. All right, well, that's impressive. Okay, so back to the high yield technical analysis. The other ones are the usual suspects, but I love to see QDTE there, and I love to see QDTY. I just don't understand why QDTY is behind. These Roundhill guys are sharp cookies. These guys know what they're doing, obviously. Look at that for the quarter. Actually, QDTY is a little bit ahead, but when you look at the math of it, yeah, QDTY is a little bit ahead, but it's paying about half the yield, so it should be a little bit ahead. It should be a little bit ahead, but I mean, because that's just amazing that it can yield 41% and catch 11% NAV upside. Yeah, I didn't even have to put up that the thing because, well, I do have to look at total return. I don't have total return here. I just have NAV return and yield, which are the inputs for total return. So this is, if I had total return up there too, it'd be somewhat redundant. MSFO and MSFY are both on the list. Why is MSFO so much lower? Well, let's look here. MSFY yields more and has more. How's that happening? With that new Curve fund, I mean, Curve is good. I mean, that Curve fund, why do they do this sometimes? Why do they start them at different numbers? I have never understood that. It doesn't happen all the time. Is it ones that are so close you couldn't even tell them apart, maybe? I think that's what it is. Well, no. Anyway, MSFO is beating it on total return, but behind on NAV return. MSFY is up on NAV return. MSFO is up also, but less so. It looks like MSFY is up about 15% NAV return. That's why it's getting on that max factor list. The max factor prioritizes safety. And so this one right here is up on NAV return, but more like 10% or something. But the amazing thing is that MSFY is winning the dividend war also. And that's not even true. So once again, it's a max problem. MSFO 30%, MSFY 54%. That's not right. So something's mashed up with the data. It's just one of those days. All right. So what else do you guys want to look at? We could look at the index buffer report. And I have some other stuff we could talk about. But yeah, that's no wonder why MSFY is so high. Because did you guys see that? There's no way it has twice the yield. I do this all day long. I had to catch. MSFO paid $2 on 16. MSFY paid 75 cents on $24. It doesn't. Gosh damn it. But yeah, so MSFY has been on top of the list when it probably shouldn't have been. Because obviously it's not factoring in something. I think I know exactly what. It's just taking the raw number. It's not annualizing it or something. I guarantee that's what it's doing. Anyway, well, we'll have a new list soon as I fix that. It was just a Trump headline. I was just checking. Trump pressures 17 pharma CEOs to cut drug prices. Okay. Anyway, here's the index buffer report. We have feed and 5E up there. I can't freaking believe that MSFY is totally wrong and I haven't got it. And I supposedly have AI helping me and stuff. All right. KQQQ looks, well, that's a good day for KQQQ. YQQ, it's a good day for them, unfortunately. Something else is making my portfolio's down. We saw it was down this morning, but it's even down further. And now I'm not even above water and I'm like 2% under where I started again. It took me forever to get back above water, and I got 2 or 3% above water for a few days, and things are selling off lately. It also could have something to do with the dividend coming out on half the stocks. Maybe on Monday, that's probably a little bit artificially low. On Monday, it'll probably when it reflects the drip, it's probably not really down 2%, but still I'm back underwater. Not like it matters, but it makes me upset. All right, so that's that. Let's look at the yield max buffer report. Look at old Facebook. There's MSFO. Speaking of MSFO, and MSFO is a solid one to be yielding that much. And I mean, I just thought MSFY was so good because it said it was yielding 57%. No way, it's not yielding 57%. And I should have known. None of the curve stuff yields 57%. I mean, that's not what curve's designed to do. I don't know how let's take a look here. I bet we could figure out. Well, I thought it'd been around less than a year and it was taking this number and like annualizing it, and it paid 12%. But anyway, but no, the number's right there. I don't know how that high yield database hasn't messed up. Anyway, all right. Well, that makes sense. That would explain it. If MSFY was really doing that, that would be an example of free money. If it was really paying 57% yield where the competitors are paying 30 or something and catching more upside, that just doesn't happen. That's not in the cards. All right. Well, all right. Some other stuff to look at. Have you guys seen this? I just found this today. It's from First Trust, and they have really bad. They need to hire someone like Marcus to do their GUI, their front end web design, stuff like that. But this is pretty ugly, but this is a good fund. So check this out. I don't know what I'm really showing you. There's nothing to show you. Let me look at the holdings. These guys are, it's a DeFi fund, and it doesn't look like they own individual stocks. They just that looks like they're doing covered calls on some indexes. Looks like they're selling. They have this mini Bitcoin and they have calls in that, but then they have long calls. I think they're using the long calls in the mini Bitcoin for their long exposure. They're doing like a poor man's covered call on this fund, but then they're selling out of the money, assumably, I would assume, S&Ps, and that generates a little income. And well, no, they're doing it on both of them. And on this NBTX, this mini Bitcoin, they even have a caller on. They've sold a call. Well, no, they sold a call and a put. So they're, what's that? A strangle? Short strangle? Well, anyway, they're somehow they're getting income and upside. And now look at this. This thing's pretty impressive. or when I checked it this morning, it was. But anyway, I put that in Discord. I'll maybe do a review on it, but no one's going to tune in for that one. So it's DFII. FT Vest, Bitcoin Strategy, and Target Income ETF. I mean, that looks pretty good. It's paid 4% yield for a third of a year. Well, it's Target. They're going to get 15. That's what they're aiming for. But they have 15% NAV return this quarter. And this one isn't on the report because I just found out about it. But if it were, I'll put it on this afternoon. April 3rd, May, June, July. Oh, yeah, it's definitely May, June. Yeah. If it were, it's probably going to be pretty dang good. 15% yield and a 15% NAV return. Let's go back and look at that. I still feel so bad about that MSFY. I can't freaking believe I didn't catch that. And I don't know why in the heck it's doing that. But anyway, 15 and 15. I was just going to say where that would fit in. So it's not going to be Planeteer. That's 15 and 52, unless it's a lot safer. But it may not make the list with only a 15% yield and only a 15% return. The other ones that are returning 13 and 15 are earning 40 and 50. And there's one that only returned 11, Snowy, but it's yielding 60. Here's one that only returned 10, but it yields 40. It might squeak on there. I don't know. This triple QI is a good comparison. It's yielding 14, and it might be ahead of triple QI. Maybe it'll squeeze into 20th spot. MSFY is not going to drop out of the top 20, but they're going to drop out of number 1 for sure. Anyway, so I need to, after I get out of here, I'm going to fix MSFY and I'm going to put this new one on there. But okay, so the other thing about the new one, I read the prospectus and they only overwrite 20% of the fund. So they advertise in the prospectus, they're 80% uncapped and they sell options on 20% of the fund. And it's, DeFi has a lot of volatility in this mini Bitcoin index. They probably bring in a lot of money for these calls they're selling on that index. Now I'm looking at it. It kind of looks like maybe the S&P is a synthetic because it's not synthetic. The S&P is a put spread. They sold a put spread on the S&P. Okay, so it's a bullish position. They're selling put spreads on the S&P, and then it looks like they're doing callers on the mini Bitcoin. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about that, but that's one to keep an eye on, DFII. And then also I wanted to show this. Oh, here it is. Well, no, I found it it has behind a paywall on Barron's, and I found it. There it is. I was going to say, I have it open I found it in MSN, not behind the paywall. The rewards and risk of target income funds. So you guys will know all this stuff. But they're talking about how the S&P's dividend yield has dropped to 1.1%. And even the so-called dividend aristocrats, companies that have raised their payouts for 25 years, but they're paying real dividends, not distributions. Those have fallen to 2.5%. It's still, more than two times the SPY. But anyway, so that's why they're saying these are attractive. And they talk about stuff we all know about writing covered calls and how that works and what you agree to do. I'm just trying to hit the high points here. I was going to make a video on this, but it's not going to happen. So let's just look at it real fast. But this is it. They say such a strategy has the ability to turn just about anything, stocks, gold, even Bitcoin, into a yielding asset, which makes target income funds different, as their name suggests. They aim to provide the same percentage of income every month. Vest launched FT Vest. That's where I found out about that one thing in this article. That's where it came from. But anyway, they're talking about this Vest launch FT Vest, Dividend Aristocrat Target Income Fund, king in 2018. And what they say is it writes options against those dividend aristocrats, and it brings the yield up to 9%. From normally if it was just the dividends, it'd be paying 2%. So they get an extra 10% of return, and they're advertising while sacrificing just 20% of the upside. So that's good. They're only doing on a portion of the portfolio. And then it said Vest offers other strategies, RDVI, and anyway, Vest isn't the only company to target income funds. Other ETFs include Simplified Barrier, SBAR, which launched this year and targets 15% yield by selling put options on stock indexes. Defiance S&P 500, SPY-T, heck yeah, SPY-T, which launched in 2024, targets a 20% yield by holding ETFs or index ETFs and selling call spreads on the index. Here's what I mean. They must have been watching my channel. Listen to this. Target income ETFs aren't risk-free, or they talk about there's no free money here in a second. They run complicated strategies. Investors have to rely on active managers more than with plain vanilla index ETFs. They're also far more expensive, and that's true. They're talking about the expense ratios, and of course, they're high. This is the main thing. Investors have to sacrifice upside too. There's no such thing as a free lunch. They're definitely watching my channel. After all, even in the options market, there's no such thing as free lunch after all, even in the options market. FT Vest Dividend Aristocrat ETF has returned 9.1% annualized over the past 5 years, lagging behind the ProShares S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF, which is Noble, which is 9.8%. While Defiance's target income has returned 13.6% over the past year, trailing the Spider's 18%. So that's true. It's all something we know. There's a bit of a sacrifice, but for investors who want to shift some of the return to income from capital appreciation, it may be worth it. Anyway, the mainstream media is taking a pot shot at, but I thought that was fair. All that stuff is true. They didn't say anything that wasn't true. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? You guys have any questions? Hey, Alan, how are you doing? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Marcus is a professional. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I know it. I used to use I used to use Illustrator and Photoshop, but starting a few years ago, they made Photoshop where it's online and a subscription. And then they made Adobe Spark where it does about 80% of the stuff Photoshop does. And I've just lately been using Spark, and Spark can do just about anything I need to do. But like I say, the customers that figured out they can use Spark also. And now both Spark and Canva also have AI built in where you can make anything in there. Yeah, thanks for being here, Alan. You can't wait to buy more Alti once the Misty dividends hit. Wonderful, Mike. Now, Mike, have I been talking to you in Twitter, or did I made friends with a dude named Mike on Twitter, or we were following each other? I don't know if that's you, but I think he's also an Alti Misty guy, so that's why I thought it might be you. All right, side note, CAIE has a tracker on their webpage that shows where their notes are at, and I've actually seen that before. That would be a good thing. That would be a good one to make content on also, but I just have so much other stuff I know more about than auto-callable bonds. The content I'm working on right now, like I showed you, is this. I'm going to try to get this out this afternoon, a comparison of why Blocks is curb stomping LFGY. I'm going to put and Alti. Here, watch this. But anyway, it'll show up in a second. But yeah, I guess I need to work on this and try to get this out. This one will be out, but this one should be out. Who knows? But sometime soon, and we'll see. Any earnings out? I'm sure they all hit. I bet you they're all up big, which is fine because I hope that because I want them to be up for you guys. Just because I'm not having a good day, a good week, a good month. Don't worry. I mean, I want you guys to have one. So hopefully those hit, and I didn't jinx it by following along. I can't remember the last one I had in the earnings. A couple of weeks ago, I did have a good one, but since then, I've lost like 4 or 5 in a row. All right. Now, I guess we could look at this, but this isn't really. Oh, let's look at this. Why? Oh, yeah, Jay's UVIX trade. I put his UVIX trade, and it's working out for him. Now, this is part of blocks, and it's also part of Alti. I'll probably talk about that in the video. Heck yeah, Jay. Look at that. He made $1 million at expiration. Right now, it's worth. Right now, that's what he's playing. You know, it's about 500,000. But if the market keeps going down, volatility keeps going up, and time keeps passing. We know time's going to keep passing, but as volatility keeps going up and time passes, you know, this could be a nice little profit for the fund. Heck yeah. I love this idea. I'm so glad they did this. Jay's big at watching. He used to have a podcast I used to listen to every week, and I haven't heard it in forever. That may be subscription only or something. I'm not sure. It may have gone to a subscription model, but it was called The Broken Pie Chart. I really liked it. But anyway, they talk all the time about not only VIX, but VIVIX. And, you know, and they do like these guys, it's part of their philosophy to hedge when you can afford to. And so anyway, and I bet they saw that with VIVIX being low, that's kind of an indication of the affordability of hedges. Same thing with VIX. And man, that was a good time. Maybe they were also worried about Powell maybe saying something, or maybe Powell, you know, resigned. And it actually, even if Powell resigned, I think the market would go down, but it might go up. It might go up initially, then down. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, that UVIX position is really good. I'm glad to see that. That's going well. All right. So I figured Facebook went down towards the end of the day as the market came down a little bit. Oh, that's the skew play. Well, this one, you actually want Facebook to come down a little bit. If it's down another 1.8% tomorrow, you'd be killing it. And I didn't show that on day one, so no one has that one on. But hopefully, I hope like heck somebody has on this trade. Because you're definitely in your bonus territory. That's your take your wife to dinner territory, your income territory, and this is your upside territory. So that's good. I hope somebody got that. And then did I save those other ones? Coinbase and Amazon. I did. Okay. So let's look at Earnings Hub, and then we'll see. Oh yeah, did you? In Trump, the Democrats tried to pass that stock trading thing, and they teamed up with Josh Hawley, who's one Republican, but it's the right thing to do. I mean, actually, I don't really care that much about. It's just bad optics, but I wouldn't be opposed to passing a ban on congressional stock trading. But I can see both sides of it. But anyway, I just can't believe Trump's, and now he's mad about it. He's calling Josh Hawley a second-rate senator and all that stuff. I was just reading that. All right. Well, and Josh Hawley's carried a lot of water for the president over the years, in my opinion. He's done everything, and then he goes against him on this one thing. Why doesn't Trump why does Trump all right if Pelosi trades stocks? Obviously, somebody that's paying one of his donors doesn't want that to go through for whatever reason. I don't know who it is, but that's obviously what it is. Or that'd be my guess. All right, let's see about this price. Maybe we'll just look at price. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't do Coinbase. Down from 380 to 350. But I hate it for you guys because maybe one of you guys did. It could always be back up once the call starts, or no telling. The call's not till 4:30, so it's getting ready to start in 8 minutes. Okay, so Coinbase. Let's look over here at Apple. or Amazon. I didn't like Apple. It's probably the one that's way up. Okay, Amazon's down too. Okay, well, I'd really be in a bad mood if I did those as well. It's only down 10 points. That's 5%. That's nothing. I mean, it's probably past the amount of buffer. I think the buffer was about 4.8%, but it could always rally by tomorrow. That's not exactly crashing or anything. Let's see when their call is. Their call is 4 p.m. So that hasn't, let me see. Or does that mean it's on now? I never know if they mean my time or their time. It hasn't started. So no, it does mean my time. So that's going to be on here in a while. So you guys, if you want to, you can go listen to the Coinbase call. And then after that, you can listen to the Amazon call. But that's probably not good news for the market tomorrow if those both stay down after the little sell-off today. We'll see, though. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Yes, okay, and that's the thing. The ban actually was very reasonable. The ban lets them trade ETFs or indexes. I think they can own index funds, which you want your senators to own index funds, but you don't. But it's the individual stock is only bad. Anyway, now that it didn't pass, they're probably going to have to go back to the drawing board anyway. So. I wouldn't mind it. That'd be awesome if you left a like, and I'm so happy there's 12 of you here. I certainly appreciate it. But yeah, it just kind of disappointed me that I don't know. Who knows? There's politics going on behind the scenes, and there's people in Trump's ear and stuff. So all right. So what else do we have to talk about? Seems like I had something else I wanted to mention. Blocks paid a dividend today. Did you guys see that? I saw it on Twitter. I just reminded myself because I saw Twitter. Yeah. There's that Doug that I made friends with. He's liking my replies. I'm liking his replies. If that's you, Doug, that's in here, I certainly appreciate you being here. But I checked Blocks' dividend. It was about the same as last time. I looked. I mean, it looks to me like I'm looking at Blocks as 15 or 20. What do you guys think? I mean, call it 16 cents. I've already done this once. I multiplied 16 times 52, and they've been pretty consistent. I want to say, what did that come out to? Like $8.50, $8 or $9, something like that. Well, and it's a $24 company. So I'm wrong. It's going to pay between a quarter and a third. That's right. But it's still leaving yield on the table compared to LFGY. LFGY is leaving something else on the table, though. And for whatever reason, LFGY is pulled back more recently. I wonder what happened to them. Let's look at this from June 15th to now. Now, Blocks is just tough to beat, and I've the video will be kind of fun. Hopefully I'll get it done because I've been in the back tester, and I'm going to show some more back tests. There's 3 stocks that are in common between Blocks and LFGY. And they're probably in common with Alti too, or I think at least 2 of them are. Well, anyway, in any event, I'm showing back test. I've already been prepping for it, where I show the block strategy against the covered call spread. The block strategy does way better than the covered calls. But it's hard to test covered calls because Jay and them manage them. They don't just hold them to expiration, but held to expiration, the block strategy does way better against covered calls. But against covered call spreads, it does better, but not way better. But anyway, that'll be on the video tonight. You guys watch that. Like I say, hopefully that'll be on by tonight. And then tomorrow I have an interview, but it's a private interview. But based on what that guy tells me, the guy from Twin Oaks, I'll make some kind of content about what we talked about. And so that should be out this weekend also. Blocks is, as long as the block stays around 30%, heck yeah. I mean, 30% is wonderful, and they are definitely focused on appreciation. It also deals with path dependency. They're selling puts, and so they'll do a lot. They should do better than a covered call fund. Covered call fund pushes the risk to the bullish side, and when you sell puts, you push the risk to the bearish side. But the covered call funds will have their day whenever blocks will get nailed in a pullback because those puts will keep going in the money and in the money and in the money. But markets only go up, right? Markets only go up. That's what they say anyway. That's what I've always thought. Mark, you had a good day swing trading. Nice job. Did you get any puts, or were you just buying pullbacks? I didn't know if you saw maybe it was going to drop and got into a put and then got out, but you're probably just selling calls and then covering them at lower prices, covering, and that really works too. Yeah, no, blocks is awesome. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll go get this video out, and you guys can watch it. It'll probably be on at 6 or 7 tonight, about the same time as last night's video. I'm trying to get it on because it's the last day of the month, and I'm trying to get over the limit so the station gets paid. And I'm like $2 away. I'm sure this will get $2 worth of viewers. We'll see. But anyway, I need to get it on as fast as possible so I get the views before midnight. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you later. Anything we forgot to talk about, put it in Discord. And in order to come to my video tonight, and I'll be in the comment section, we can talk there. All right, guys, talk to you later. Have a nice day. I'll see you.